Alter Bridge singer Myles Kennedy said he had to hide tears of emotion during his tryout sessions with Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones in 2008. In 2008, after Led Zeppelin's monumental reunion at the O2 Arena in 2007, Robert Plant decided not to continue with the band. Page, Jones, and Bonham weren't ready to stop. They began exploring new possibilities, leading to secret rehearsals with Kennedy. In 2008, after Led Zeppelin's monumental reunion at the O2 Arena in 2007, Robert Plant decided not to continue with the band. Page, Jones, and Bonham weren't ready to stop. They began exploring new possibilities, leading to secret rehearsals with Kennedy. In an interview with Linnea Rock, Kennedy emphasized that the idea of him becoming part of Led Zeppelin was never on the table. Kennedy was humbled by the experience. Despite the chemistry, the project didn't move forward. Kennedy clarified that the idea was never to replace Plant or continue as Led Zeppelin, but to explore new musical directions.
It was an opportunity to get in a room with three guys who just wanted to hang, play some music, and it just so happened that they were the guys who basically wrote the blueprint for everything I do. You know, it's just like, you know, it's kind of insane. It would be like an it would be like an architect getting a phone call from you getting in a time machine, and it's, hey, it's Frank Lloyd Wright here, and I'm interested, you know, would you just want to come over and we'll just design a house together? You know, it's like, it's kind of the same sort of thing. And that's my architecture, you know, I'm a geek that way. But so I looked at it as just this wonderful opportunity to be in a room with the guys who ultimately showed me everything that I know. And you know what the best part was? Playing music was wonderful, but I got to tell them what they meant. You know, it was just the idea as a fan. I could say, hey, and I lasted all of 30 minutes when I met him, and I finally I couldn't keep it in anymore. I just said, look, I just got to tell you guys, I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow or not, but thank you. And thank you for writing the blueprint for all that we do. And they just kind of looked at me and they're like, yeah, that's cool. You know, they were nice about it, but you could tell they probably hear it every single day. But they were very gracious. It was awesome.
Kennedy said he's wondered why he was chosen to try out, but felt honored that it happened. He explained.
Like, as far as the songs from their catalog, I think the two moments that stand out the most was playing No Quarter. That's one of my favorites. And then later on, when I came back later that year, we did the Rain song, and that was, that was like that was something I'll never forget. It was goosebumps and got a little teary. I kind of had to turn at one point. I had to turn around and like, don't let the guys see that I'm getting emotional. But it was pretty heavy.
Myles Kennedy also reflected on his rehearsal with Led Zeppelin during another interview.
Do you think about that now at all? Like, oh my God, do you ever wake up and be like, I was kind of rehearsing with Led Zeppelin? Or is the media kind of overblowing maybe what may or may not have happened?
Well, we did, you know, stand in a room together and play a fair amount of those songs. I never thought of it like I was playing with Led Zeppelin. I think for me, it was always like Jason and Jimmy and John Paul Jones, and I don't think they were really sure if it was going to happen, what they would have even called it. I don't think they were going to call it Led Zeppelin, but it was definitely an incredible experience, especially considering how important that band was for me in my musical evolution. One moment that I think of often was having the opportunity to play arguably my favorite Led Zeppelin song, the Rain song. And that was a really, really heavy moment. And that was the moment where suddenly it dawned on me what was actually happening. You know, I'd come back, we'd done one jam session in early, I think it was like June of 2008. And then I came back again, and I think it was September after I'd done a tour with Alter Bridge. And so we reconvened in London. And during one of those rehearsals, we were playing the Rain song. And because that song is so beautiful and so haunting, but I think we got to it was like I want to say it was the second verse, or whichever verse it is where John Paul Jones comes in with the descending mellotron part. And that's when it hit me. And I literally had to pull away from the mic, and like, my eyes are welling up and I'm goosebumps. And it was just the that was the moment of realization of like, you were playing arguably your favorite song of all time with the guys who created it. And this is insane. And it's probably never going to be, no matter what you do from this point forward, it may never feel quite like this. And so I hold on to that memory dearly.
Kennedy also spoke about Led Zeppelin's iconic song, Whole Lotta Love.
Hey everybody, hope you're well. I'm Myles Kennedy, and that was just a little bit of Whole Lotta Love, as I'm sure you recognize, probably one of the most important riffs of all time, in my opinion. I remember the first time I heard it very well. I was probably about 13, and I was playing football with my little brother in the backyard, and we had the boombox. That's what we used to call our stereos, our portable stereos back then. And we had the radio blasting on our favorite rock station, and that riff came on the same afternoon, actually, that I heard Eruption, too. So Eruption came on, I think, a little earlier, going into You Really Got Me. And then a few hours later, I hear that. I hear A Whole Lotta Love. And it was a game changer. I hate using that term, but it really was. I think it informed me where I wanted to go in life.
So, what if this collaboration had led to a new band? Would fans have embraced a Led Zeppelin without Plant? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more such videos.